Hello, this is Ian, Somerset News Network. You wouldn't believe, in 2025, a modern country that has links throughout the world through Heathrow Airport can be closed down by a fire in a substation. It just, yes, there might have been a short delay, I don't know, maybe an hour, but you've got emergency backup generators that create electricity to run the airport. Not anymore. In 2025, we've gone net zero green. You can't make this up. We must be the laughing stock of the world. Laughing stock of the world, I should say. How can we not run one of the busiest airports in the world and not have backup? I'm gonna love the way they're gonna explain this one. Richard Tice said this morning that he had reliable information that the diesel generators had been taken out, the backup generators, and they'd put a biomass generator in its place to work alongside the grid. The grid went down, therefore the biodiesel generator the electric wasn't getting through. You can't make this up. You know, when you do things, I had an off-road Land Rover. I had a Series 3 Land Rover. You know, I got the engine, I made sure it was serviced, you know, oil, water, all the rest of it, make sure the tyres were good. But you got backup systems. I had a hijack so I could lift it up. I had like girders, back and front bumpers. You could put it under the bumper, jack it up and change the wheel. I had backup systems. I had a caravan. In the caravan, I had an electric system and a gas system. And I also would carry battery torches. In case the gas went, I'd have one of those little square camping stoves with the bottles. Backup systems. It is not rocket science. It is only an airport. And we can't run it because of this net zero green woke crap. The best thing we can do is throw net zero and green fucking crap out. Excuse my language. But it's caused thousands of people to lose their flight. It's going to take days to sort the flights out because airplanes will be in the wrong place. And what about the money that the airport's losing because of it? All because of a fire in a substation. You can't make it up. A headline came on GB News. I just clicked on it to have a look while I was having a cup of tea. And it was talking about, it just said, could it have been Russia? But they weren't talking about that in the studio. And it only lasted, I don't know, a couple of seconds, and then it was gone. Somebody had put that up for a reason. Now, is this an accident? Or was it sabotage? We don't know. There's going to be an inquiry. But the way Starmer is talking about backing the Ukrainians and sending British troops there, that made us a target. And you can't blame Russia for doing it. I'm not a friend of Russia. I went all through the Cold War. I was linked with the RAF, you know, in the cadets. And every air station we went to, they were all linked to the Cold War and fighting the Russians. As a kid, I remember being on an RAF station where they housed lightnings. This is in the 60s. And they would go down the runway, they would turn, and then they'd go straight up. Unbelievable to watch. But that was against the Russians. If the Russians were coming over, they would go and would be straight up. And it's all backups. All the time, it's all backups. I got solar panels on the roof. And when the electric goes down, I thought, oh, we'll be all right. We got solar panels on the roof. Nah. Solar panels don't work on the house if the electric goes down. So it's not a backup. The same as with Heathrow, putting a biogenerator alongside the main grid is not a backup. Electrics go, generator won't produce the electric. Well, it might be producing electric, but it won't be going through onto the grid, or into Heathrow. You need power generators actually to feed Heathrow. You know, it's absolutely crazy these days. The only way that my solar panels on my roof would work as a backup if I had battery units. Problem is, my garage is now my workshop and I haven't got room for battery units. So, you know, and the cost, well, I haven't got the money. So Heathrow Airport has been closed down for a day. They don't think it will reopen until about 12 o'clock tonight or even tomorrow morning. What is this country coming to? We got Tommy Robinson in jail for a misdemeanor in a high security prison in solitary. We got this net zero crap hanging over us by 2030. The government isn't stopping it, it's escalating it. They want acres and acres of farmland so we can't produce food to put solar panels on. They want to put windmills up. They put windmills out in the Irish Sea. And the cable was across the rocks. And when the sea comes in and out, it cut through the cables. The cost of replacing the cable, because they use government subsidies, means that the wind farm is now US. Unserviceable. It doesn't make electricity when the wind doesn't blow. If the wind's too strong, they got to turn it off because they'll break. And there's some wind generators that have got their own diesel generators at the bottom. So if there's no wind, they turn the generator on. And they turn the blades. So they're still getting money, the same price for producing wind power, using a diesel generator. It's crazy. We've got to stop this craziness. It's going to bring this country to its knees. And we're heading there faster than we think. We need some common sense heads. We need people like Mad Ed Milliman to retire. You know. And we need some common sense people in. And what have we done with all the common sense people? Habib, Broome, Cox, Evans. We threw them out of UKIP and Brexit and Reform. And now Rupert Lowe. So all the good people that could have helped are now all individuals. So the Labour Party can come out now and say, you know, oh, we'll wait for the inquiry. That'll be the first thing. We don't know, we'll wait for the inquiry. You know, there might even be a parliamentary inquiry into this. But if they've got rid of the diesel generators, you don't need an inquiry and waste all that money. The answer is easy. You just bring the diesel generators back online. And every so often, I don't know, say once a month, you test them. You turn the electric off, turn the generators on, and test to make sure it works. Now, I was involved in an airport, and I was doing rabbit control on the airport. They wanted the rabbits controlled. And being that it's a airport, no firearms were allowed, so I couldn't even take an air rifle up to shoot these rabbits. The rabbits were digging underneath the airport and damaging the cables. So we used long nets, we used ferrets, and we cut the number of rabbits down. They were also using cages as well, but I didn't do that. A friend of mine did that. But the airport had backup generators. And they said, look, we've got a shutdown. You can do it. We tried doing it with the airport. It's crazy, this. The airport lights were on. And we got there and it's like daylight. And you can see the rabbits out on the grass. Of course, they can see us. Right? And I said, well, this is no good. You know, we're trying to put a long net out to catch rabbits. They could see it. So we had to wait until the lights went out. So they said, right, we do a generator test. When we do the generator test, we turn it off, then we turn it back on again. But what we'll do is we'll give you half an hour or an hour. If there's an emergency, the light's got to go on, you will know and you can get out of the way. Okay, no problem. So I got there. I was doing it with one of the airport firemen. And we were going to go out, and we've been going out in the Land Rover and doing the ferreting and putting the long net out. But the Land Rover, when I got there, was on blocks with its wheels off. We're repairing it at the moment. Brakes need doing. I said, oh, how are we going to get out there? Because I couldn't use my car. It had to be an authorised vehicle. So we used an 8x8 Dodge fire engine to go long netting for rabbits. Anyway, we got into place. Lights went out at 1 o'clock. I put the net out. We went down, pushed the rabbits into the net. We got 3 or 4. They were happy. 2 o'clock, lights went back on again. The lights came back on with a diesel generator that's the backup. So why didn't Heathrow have it? Now that was an organised shutdown. Heathrow may have been down for what? 15 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour at the most, if they had the diesel generators. What we've got to do is sort this junk out. Get rid of this net zero crap. And let's be a proper country. Well, if this is 2025, what's going to happen in another 5 years? How many other times is Heathrow going to have to be closed down? Basically closed us off for the rest of the world. Just unbelievable. Anyway, second rant for the day over. I'm now going to have my evening meal. Bye bye.